I'm going to be reminded that this meeting is being live streamed, and it is. Hey, it's Uncle V, Uncle Vigilante. This is the Uncle Vigilante Show, and it is my favorite part of the week. It's Friday, which is Epic Cash Live. And we have a very special guest here today, Ashton Addison. Ashton, he is the founder CEO of CryptoCoinShow.com. I'm going to run through some screen or share some of his sites and his social presence. And then he is going to tell us exactly what he does and he and his team and how they do it. But I will tell you, you probably won't find a more connected person in the blockchain cryptocurrency whole environment than Ashton. He is just one of the highest connected. He's done 1,200 interviews. We'll dig into some of the ones that'll just make your jaw drop. He is a conference speaker. He's a cryptocurrency influencer. He's a blockchain journalist. And let me just do a quick screen share here. And I'm going to go to a couple of, bear with me, I'm having arrow issues. All right, let me screen share. Sorry for the bad TV, everyone. Here we go. Okay, this is, there we go, finally. This is CryptoCoinShow.com. And I now have it bookmarked, so it is one of my go-tos every day. And you can see here, there's home, then you can go to videos, and you'll see that there's over, oh, thank you. There's over 1,200 videos with like literally everyone in the industry. And shout out to Darkstar, who reached out to Ashton and tried to get his attention regarding Max. And it was kind of difficult to get your attention, Ashton. But Darkstar became very persistent. Let me show you your, we actually have AshtonAddison.com that I encourage everyone to go visit. And you can read a little bit about Ashton, about his projects, recent speaking engagements. We're going to talk to him about what do you mean by Reuters Insider and Crypto Coin Show and Ashton in the news. So that is, and I will link to all of these in my show notes after I post this. Here's Crypto Coin Show, his YouTube. So let's all go there. And can I subscribe to it? Yep, let's subscribe. And I want to be notified of all. But again, you can take a look at the videos, and it's just amazing production quality that he and his team do. Final place, two places to go yet, is his Twitter. So Ashton_Addison_. Let's give him a follow. I don't think I am logged in, so I'll have to do that from my phone. And why are we here today? We're here to talk about Epic Fund Me, and we're doing a community raise. And Max, if you wouldn't mind chiming in real quickly, you worked very hard prior to launching Epic Cash. You invested more with attorneys than you did even on the tech side. And a lot of that was so that we would never be tapped on the shoulder by the SEC and declared a security. Can you just educate those people who might be new to, what kind of, how does that impact our ability to raise money? Where do we get our money since there was no pre-mine, there was no ICO, et cetera? Can you just opine?
Yeah, Epic by design does not raise money. It does not have investors. It does not have a marketing team. It does not have a biz dev team. It does not have management. Epic is just ones and zeros on GitHub. It's ambient and contextual, like the air we breathe, or if we're fish, the ocean, water. Epic itself, like BTC, which it intends to replace, has no mechanism to do any of that stuff. Why? By design. So let's rewind to 2019. So we're in 2022. Epic, the Epic of today, and now more broadly Epicenter, came about in the heady era of I don't want to say the first boom, because there were earlier booms before that, but there was a big boom in ICOs and new digital assets in 2017, 2018. In 2021, VCs raised 32.8 billion for blockchain. The first real multi-billion-dollar breakthrough was back in 17, 18, and that's when I got started. And so I said, maybe I just fell off a turnip truck. I'm not a coder. I don't understand this stuff. But wait a minute, everybody's code is out there on GitHub, free to take. So the differentiator in this space can't be technology. It needs to be other things, like how you're positioned with respect to community or regulatory compliance or fundraising strategy or so on. And so I said, okay, if we are gonna try to reimagine the world's money system, remember Epic came about because EUSD needs something like Epic to exist as collateral. In this case, the egg did come before the chicken. We said, okay, in order to be a basis for the EUSD currency system, Epic needs to be designed in a very specific way. It must, under no circumstances, be able to be stopped by the power of the existing system, because it has all the power, all the money, all the force to be able to extinguish competition. So if you have censorship resistance and you have that unstoppability and you have that regulatory compatibility, then you have the canvas to be able to dream of something like the EUSD crypto dollar. And so back in 2019, we said, okay, what is the world going to look like? Not now today, but in 5 years. I remember having people try to throw millions of dollars at me over napkins, trying to do the ICO shitcoin thing, get rich quick. Hey, let's do it like everybody else does. Let's raise money. Let's have a token, a team, a company, a foundation, a DAO, blah, blah, blah. And I watched all these other things blow up one by one. I mean, Kin raised 100 million. They got spanked by the SEC and shut down. Library, they finally died last week from their single misstep. Library is a great system. Library, not to get off track too much, but Library, the blockchain will continue, but the company and the investors and the people involved have a sad end to their story because the SEC put a bullet in their head. And so back in 2019, as this was coming together, really 2018, the tech was easy. Everything we needed was out there on GitHub or research papers. But we had to really dig deep and think, okay, what is the world going to look like as crypto comes into its own? DEXs weren't even a thing. We had to really read the tea leaves and think ahead of time about what is the world we're heading into. Nobody had even heard of fungibility, and all the lawyers in the industry were saying, "Oh, just do these things, and you can be a utility token and not a security. Pay us $500 an hour, and we'll give you a letter that says you're not a security." And I was like, "No, the SEC is not gonna be cool with that."
I'm not, me, I'm the master interrupter, but let's just get to it. The bottom line is we're not a security. We have a community that we use approaches like today to be able to educate the community, to be able to raise the necessary funds, to be able to do X, Y, and Z. We have epicfundme.com, and Yoga, you are the one who designed it, developed it, invented it. Can you please give us a little backstory on Epic Fund Me and why you decided?
Oh, that's too many kudos, Uncle. Thank you. But I had the idea. I saw the need and I had the idea. I had friends who are coders who helped me with it. I absolutely suck at coding since Commodore 64 days. Much better, more talented people than me coded this. But the idea was really simple. we were looking at the world where any kind of content monetization was going through intermediaries, okay? And if that wasn't bad enough, in other words, and I'm sure Ashton and other content creators can agree with this. When you create content, you create quality content, you devote your life to it, but to get paid, some third-party entity collects your money, okay? And they take a cut for that. They take a chunk of the action. Now, you're contributing to them. You are essentially creating content that makes them better off, okay? But they get a piece of your action, okay? That's okay, all right. And they collect that. But the thing is, if that wasn't bad enough, and they decide how much you get paid after that, if you get paid at all, because then they start injecting various arbitrary rules like, well, you do this or you do that, we're going to cut, we're going to fine you, we're going to take a chunk, etc. And that's not really that cool at that point, right? But it gets even worse because at some point, these companies started injecting their morals into it, like their subjective value of what you're saying. So, holy crap, just because they may not like what you're saying, you might not get paid. Just because in their jurisdiction, what you're saying is not kosher for whatever reason, you will not get paid. They will hold your money. And to me, the first thought was like, well, who the F are these guys to decide that that you get paid or you don't get paid? Why is there this intermediary that collects this? Why are there these deciders that get to say yay or nay? Because look, you do the work, right? And your audience decides. This is the purest person-to-person transaction as it should be, right? You get out there and you put out quality content. So for us as a project, we're a project of volunteers. Epic Cash is a project of volunteers. We have people that see a need for something, like we need a GUI wallet. Well, guys go and they code a GUI wallet. We see, we have talented people like Uncle V here, who basically lead by example, and they say, okay, I'm going to talk about Epic. I'm going to create awareness. I'm going to help mass adoption of Epic, right? So again, this is a real person who just decides to take this role upon their shoulders. And this is what Epic Cash is. We're not a corporation. We're not a VC funded venture, et cetera. It's just a bunch of people, just like with Bitcoin. I was in Bitcoin in 2011, and it's just a bunch of people who are like lit up with this idea of trying to make the world better through this meritocratic approach. And crypto is just a delivery mechanism, essentially. It's like a river that lets your boats travel, better, faster, etc. So how do we encourage these people? And by we, I mean the community. How do each one of us encourages the other one of us, for the work that they put in? And we started this simply because we wanted to be just an index. So we're not interested in creating like this paid community. What we wanted to do was to enable and encourage creation of communities and generate support for Epic Cash, but without us taking a cut of the action, without injecting any kind of an intermediary into this, okay? So anybody can earn Epic Cash either by creating Epic Cash content or becoming an active community support volunteer and requesting compensation in Epic Cash from the community by presenting a compelling and evidence-backed case on epicfundme.com. So it's just an index page. We throw up this index page. It's in perpetual beta because, again, this is just a really simple approach. And if you want to do something for Epic Cash and you want the community to know this, you can log in and it's free. We don't collect the funds. We don't collect anything, okay? You get there, you present your case, you show your merit, and it's a tool for everyone. And then the community, if they think that it's worthy, they will send Epic Cash directly to you. You can put your Vite account there, for example, and you can just benefit. There's no intermediary. Nobody is judging. Nobody is deciding whether or not you deserve the money that somebody decided to give you, okay? So we went for a very minimalistic, very simple look. And again, the idea was for everybody to be able to participate. Now, there's a caveat here that look, just because you go up there and you throw up a page and just put a sentence in there, okay, the skies are not going to open up and the money is not going to start falling on you. Okay, you got to do real work. Just like with anything else, like, you know, you guys, you're running YouTube channels, you know what it is, what it takes to monetize a YouTube channel, right? So it's got to be good. You got to earn the respect. You got to deserve the support. And Epic Fund Me simply allows you to showcase your merit. And then you create the awareness. You say like, hey, you know, here's a link to my page, and you can put this in our Telegram group, and you can put it on Twitter, and you can put it, you know, share it with your friends, and just say, here's what I'm doing for the project. Okay, and here's my Vite address. So you pitch, and from that point on, it's really simple. The community decides, and we funded thousands and tens of thousands of epics, okay, for various projects across the world. And that's the other thing, that with some of the professional, quote unquote professional paid services like GoFundMe and, you know, YouTube and some of the other ones, you're not shackled geographically. Anywhere in the world, you can be anywhere in the world, and people anywhere else in the world can. This is all about people. This is a frictionless way to fund merit. That's all it is.
And it works. And so for today, I wanted you on the show, Ashton, to be able to, in your words, share with our community what it is that you and your team do, and what would we be funding here? We're doing a 5,000 Epic raise, and it's so interesting. Good on you. It is right at the point to where we are about as low as we've been for a long time on this retrace. We got up to 685 last year at about this time. And then, like everywhere else, there's been a massive retrace. But it says here, Crypto Coin Show, Epic Cash interview, distribution, and more. So I'm just going to read this, and then we'll go off of this and give the floor to you. But why are we asking for funding? We are starting an Epic Fund Me to fund the distribution of a video throughout the Crypto Coin Show and the financial channels the network is syndicated to. Here is more info on the reach of Crypto Coin Show and where the video will be distributed. Now, the video we're talking about would be you interviewing Max Freeman and you and your team doing an amazing job on the video production piece of it and the distribution to the syndicated networks. Since 2014, Crypto Coin Show has brought exposure for blockchain companies through video interviews, distributing them through multiple networks, including Reuters Insider, Refinitiv TV, owned by the London Stock Exchange, Crypto Coin Show, Roku TV, Investment Pitch Media, and all their social media channels. Refinitiv Financial Network has over 600,000 paid subscribers, and Crypto Coin Show has over 58,000 subscribers with over 1,200 successful videos and counting. Together with our social media and partner channels, we reach over 1 million audience. The show has hosted some of the biggest founders in blockchain, including Roger Ver, Charles Hoskinson, John McAfee, rest in peace, and more. Crypto Coin Show just won the Web3 Influencer Awards. Congratulations for the best interview and podcast show in all of Web3, and also holds the title for the longest standing interview show in Web3. We would love to get Epic Fund Me in the company of these greats and showcase the project more to the world. And so when you and I and Dark Star talked, Ashton, I know that once you started doing a little bit more of a deep dive, we went from being an undiscovered coin to you to one that was really, really intriguing, that I think you arrived at a place, whoa, this has legs. The foundation of this project is it's almost incomparable, which it is. Mm-hmm. And so you have your package that you charge somebody who wants to get this kind of exposure. And I hope you don't mind me saying, you gave us about a 2/3 discount on it. And I said that I wanted it to be denominated in Epic, and I hope you do too. And you didn't even flinch. You said yes. You said that I'm going to be holding these Epic. You're not in it to flip it, and because you see the merit in the project. So, do I have that right? Just kind of the backstory, and can you kind of take it from there and talk about what you will be doing with the interview and just the whole process?
Yes, and thank you so much, Uncle V, for having me on the show and all this backstory, and Yoga for creating the Epic Fund Me. That's one of the huge issues in blockchain and fundraising that I think needs to be solved. And a little bit more just on exactly how we like to showcase the brilliance of all of the creative projects in Web3. That when I started the show, actually co-founded with my father, who was a broadcaster on Reuters Insider Financial Network and advisor. That's sort of how we got into the TradFi networks, and .com entrepreneur, traditional finance guy, sort of connected me and inspired me to look at traditional finance and then take my tech side of it and showcase Web3 and move to the new world of finance. So that's sort of how we tied into these traditional networks. The ethos that I had coming into building a podcast and interview show to help showcase these projects was, there's so many great Web3 projects that are coming out, and a lot of them, there's a lot of noise in this space too. Yeah. It's hard to find somebody to help them showcase what's great about their project, and how they're changing the industry that they're in, and where they're at right now, and how they're growing, and how they're hopefully going to change the world. Mm-hmm. So I looked at the cryptocurrency influencer, sort of popular influencers, and how are they growing, and I noticed there's a lot of hype and a lot of just moon boys just saying follow me to make money, or you're like this. But really the ethos of it is we want to take this technology and change the world with it, right? And getting to the fundamentals. And I also have a background in traditional finance and accounting, and studied all of that stuff in university. And I want to not go the moon boy side, and go to the more fundamental, strategic, smart investor way. So I approach the interviews from sort of the aspect of if I'm a traditional investor or somebody that's interested in technologies that are going to change the world, I bring on founders to the show and I say, okay, tell us about the project. Why is it great? How are you changing the industry that you're in? Where are you guys at right now? How are you growing? And is the product market fit there? Is this something that is necessary for the market? Is the timing right on it? And where are you at right now? And what does the roadmap look like moving forward? And personally, I've actually, we've had almost every use case industry, different kinds of protocols, NFT projects, DeFi projects, having 1,200 videos over the last 8 years. We've seen a little bit of everything. And I'm personally interested in the privacy aspect, the zero knowledge, protecting your personal privacy and protecting your finances. And that's one of the major differences in Web3 and Web2. And that's why Epic Cash was so interesting to me, in part because you're bringing the power back to the people with your finances, with your privacy, only giving away the information that you want to. And we're seeing it more and more each day in Web2, where your people are becoming the product, or they're selling your personal information sort of against your will, not really knowing. When you click the terms and conditions, all of a sudden there's all your personal information selling off to some advertiser, or even worse, there's a hack in most of these Web2 platforms and social media networks that have hundreds of millions of people, have all been hacked, and everyone's personal information is given out, right? And if we were using blockchain technology to protect our personal information and only providing the information necessary for a certain transaction, and really compartmentalizing it, that's going to change the way that people use the internet altogether. So I've been very interested in the privacy aspects of it. And, this is not just for people that are doing something wrong. It's for everybody, just to be able to control what's rightfully theirs, right? And for people that are just using the internet every day, they don't deserve to become a product just because they want to talk to their friends or just do basic browsing on the internet. So that's what personally got me interested in Epic Cash. In terms of why the funds need to be raised to produce the interviews, because of the syndication that we have, which I'm blessed to have a syndication to TradFi and try to bring these Web3 innovative companies to a more traditional audience that has capital, that's been invested in the stock market and traditional investments for 20, 30 years. Through the connections of my father and his business partners, we're able to get the video syndicated to Reuters Insider Financial Network, which is one of the largest insider financial TradFi networks in the world. And they were recently bought by the London Stock Exchange for $27 billion. So that Reuters is a huge company that has all these different departments. That department was just rebranded to Refinitiv when they were bought by the London Stock Exchange. So that video network, we have a contract with them for all of our videos to go there, and at first, actually, we actually got this contract back in 2014, and they put out a press release saying, we don't want anything to do with Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies, because, that's against our ethos. This was back in the day.
Wow.
And then we actually sort of put a video out overnight about how Expedia was starting to accept Bitcoin, way back when, and it blew up. And like that alone changed their mind. They were like, oh, never mind. The views are coming in. People want to hear about this.
Right.
And they sort of got on the train. And now, 8 years later, they realize this is a real thing. This is the future. So there's no problem with that anymore. But it wasn't like that at the beginning. So since then, we've had all of our videos syndicated onto these traditional financial networks on Reuters. And then there's another one as well called Investment Pitch Media, which also, deals with Web3 companies, but also publicly traded companies on the stock market and tech stocks, weed stocks, mining stocks, things like that. So we fit our videos into those networks as well. And then, of course, we put it on the Crypto Coin Show, our 58,000 subscribers, which are more of a crypto intermediate understanding. They have some Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're testing out DeFi, and trying to show them earlier stage companies that have potential to grow, and bring awareness to these companies in a way that's not, painting a beautiful picture of what it isn't. I just go like, just tell me. I bring the founders on themselves, right, to speak about the company and have an open, unbiased conversation about it. I'm not here, trying to hype up the company. They pay you to say whatever to make it sound good. I'm like, get the founders on the show. And most investors know, if you look at an investment deck for, they usually only look at it for like 2 minutes. It's way more important to actually speak to the founder and hear from his mouth and see the dialogue or the community. And you get a really good gist of like where the project's going through that. And speaking to Epic Cash early on, I think that we really, we felt that. So that's really what we're trying to do with all these companies. And we think Epic Cash really fits into that slot as well.
I want to just tell you a real quick story. About, almost 2 years ago, when I first got into crypto, I decided to let everybody else do my thinking for me. And so I subscribed to these 4 different services, one being the Crypto Vigilante, of course. And I went through 2 different pump and dumps. I realized afterwards that what happened and that, I was one of the marks. And so I decided to just say, you know what, I'm over this. I'm not going to let anybody do my own thinking for me anymore. And I launched a series on my channel called the Shitcoin Trials. And I put out there, and especially anyone that was privacy related, just the offer into the universe that if you would like to come on my channel, I am going to be judge and jury. I'm going to declare you a shitcoin right at the beginning, and you have 45 minutes to be able to convince me otherwise. So I had like 4 different companies come on, and then there's this guy, Max Freeman, who reached out to me and he said, hey, I'd like to come on. And I literally, I'll link it in the show notes, but I literally have my judge's wig on. I had my gavel. And I was just enroll, and I declare him a shit coin. Epic Cash is a shit coin. And what went from a 45-minute interview, within 15 minutes, I took off the silly wig, I dropped the gavel, I got out my notepads, and I went into student mode, because what I learned from Max in that 2.5 hours, it ended up being, just blew me away. And that's what happens to people who get into this community and actually take the time to learn about it. I think we sent this to you, but I want to just, if I haven't, let you know that I have a playlist that is called The Quest for Superior Money that includes like 16 videos with Max and our chief tech engineer, Todd Lewis. And we literally went through and determined, for superior money, what are all of the attributes in a perfect world? What are all the attributes that you need to consider? And we came up with them: censorship resistance, divisible, durable, just there's everything there. And then at the end there, basically the first page is interactive, to where we compared Epic to Bitcoin to gold, Federal Reserve notes to Federal Reserve digital credits. So like borderless, we went through and we literally would spend an entire show on just 2 or 3 of these. And Max and Todd, they would go at each other, and they disagreed on certain things. But ultimately, we arrived at, here's the last page is the key, where you don't have to interact with it. And if you take a look at superior money, now we're a little biased, but we put it out there that anybody who takes issue with any of our check or X's, you are welcome to come on the show and let's talk about it. We want this to be pure. So at the end of the day, we literally, Ashton, check every box except what? Widespread acceptance. And and that's why when people start to actually, we call it put their oar in the water, and they acquire some Epic Cash, and then it becomes interesting for them to, let me stop my screen share. When it becomes interesting for them, because they're holding this precious Epic Cash, and Max is very bold. He's like, I don't know which is going to get to $1,000 first, Epic Cash or Bitcoin, but that's likely where they're going to meet. And I know that just sounds like a huge, dream. But now that I have covered Epic Cash for 2 years, doing 3 shows a week, literally most of it dedicated to Epic Cash, I will tell you that there's not another project in all of crypto like Epic Cash, with the vision, with the dedicated team, and we are just so undiscovered. So that's why when I talk to you, I am so intrigued with your service, because I feel right now, and I'd be interested to hear what you think. I feel right now we have gone through this season over this last year, this crypto winter. And I just feel right now that the world of crypto, they used to say, oh, there's 20,000 assets, there's 22,000 assets. How do you ever get noticed? I don't think it's about us getting noticed. I think it's about everything else burning down. And us being the only ones left standing, or one of the only ones left standing, because of Max's careful defensive design, legally at the beginning and technologically. So that story, I think it's the perfect time for it to be told, which is why I am coming to our community. And I'd just like to be able to put this up on the show. And those of you who have a Vite wallet, all you have to do is go to your Epic 002 and hit send. And then there's the 3 dots on the upper right, and you can do QR code, and just hold your phone up there to that QR code, and it'll auto-populate Ashton's address. And I really, really do. And Ashton, I told Dark Star that I would start the party off last night with 10% of the raise. And so I sent 500 Epic last night. I know several others sent Epic too. But I really, really hope people in the community see the value in this, because, my day job, I work for a company that has 22 different portfolio companies under the umbrella. And I know that each and every one of those companies, we don't grow unless we have marketing. Some way or the other, we have to market. This stuff just doesn't get discovered by itself. Sure, there's word of mouth, etc. But when I learned about your show, and that what I like mostly, frankly, I appreciate Reuters and net distribution and 600,000 paid subscribers, and that becomes the law of big numbers, right? But what I liked was your specific YouTube channel, because you're talking about people, if they're subscribed to your channel, they're likely crypto savvy. So this isn't going to be just, I just don't understand crypto. So that's why I can't wait for you to interview Max and be able to present it to your subscriber base, because I think we will pick up we will pick up a lot of new community members. And Max, if you wouldn't mind, can you tell the story about SGT Report and Sky King?
Yeah. So turn off the echo here. There we go. All right. So about 4 months ago, I was interviewed on a channel called SGT Report by a wonderful gentleman, a member of our community, Sean Turnbull from, I think it's Turnbull, maybe Turner, SGT, something like that, of SGT Report. And we did a presentation. We went through Epic and got about 30,000 views on BitChute, which was some of the most exposure we've ever had. And while it didn't do anything immediately in terms of making the price go to the moon, what it did do is bring people out from the community to become contributors. So we have a wonderful gentleman out in New Hampshire, Greg Kelly, Sky King, with a 30 plus years background in software development, who has done a great job since then, helping out on the technical development side. And a lot of things are actively happening because he is in there and participating. And so I think this really validates the model, where this is somebody who discovered the asset. Why? Not because SGT Report was paid to promote, but SGT Report did his homework, bought coins, and then said, I'm going to use my platform to give these guys a voice. We used that voice. It attracted Sky King. He came in, did his homework. Nobody was selling anything. He had to go buy from the open market from miners like everyone else, and accumulated a position and said, wait a minute, if I get my oar in the water and row, I can actually make my investment go up. I can create the wealth that I want for myself by applying my effort, as well as my financial capital. And so we grow one by one like that. Sky King is now a member of our organization, the Freeman family, and is doing great things. So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you like what you see and you want to get involved, why not you? Everyone can be a part of what we're doing. Right.
Thank you. Yeah. And where people would find us is t.me/Epic Cash. That is where we engage the most. And then there's Freeman U in Telegram. That's Freeman, and with a U, not YOU, is another place you can go. A lot of really intelligent people in there that are going back and forth as Max and team develop further the ecosystem. So it's just, I mean, I'm biased, but I came by this naturally because of that initial shitcoin trial. And I asked Max to come on again. And the next week he was kind enough to come on again. And I pushed the envelope and I said, would you mind doing 2 shows a week with me? And he did. And it just continued like that. And then we've had so many great community members come on. And I will tell you, when I started covering it, it was 18 cents. Now it went that first year up to $6.85. Basically, that's where it was about a year ago. Right. And so that run up was just kind of I really, really smart, you know, and I literally exited every other position in crypto that I had. I got out of my IRAs, 401ks, whole life insurance policies, and invested it all in Epic along that journey up. Now, Max, what I'd like you to talk about is because you may have been that person that bought at $6 or $6.85, and it looks like when we're trading at 50 cents, oh my, what the hell just happened, but can you share our performance in relation to Bitcoin over the last 3 years?
Yeah, McMurphy actually put out a tweet. So if you had invested $5, I don't know if it's $5 a day or per week or something like that. You know those ads you always see. If you invest 12 cents a week, by the time you're 65, you'll have $4.7 million and so forth. If you had done that following accepted wisdom, nobody gets fired for buying IBM. Bitcoin is the best. Buy BTC. You would have about what is it, $4,000, something like that. If you had done that same strategy into Epic, you would have $17,000. Or something like that. I don't have the figures in front of me, but in numbers I do know, today Epic is trading at around 2,500 satoshis. Well, a satoshi is 1/100 millionth of a coin, so it's about 40,000 to 1 currently, something like that. 2.5 years ago, we were under 100 satoshis. So even if your goal of your economic life is to end up with more BTC, oh, I want to own all the coins I can because this thing's going to take over the world, you would end up having more BTC sitting in Epic than you would sitting in BTC, and in dollars it's even more dramatic. So Epic is rapidly becoming the thing that when markets, we've noticed a trend, when markets go down and things are bloody and everything is falling apart, we go up. We're that little green shoot in a field of bloody red.
Let's take a look at this. I found it.
Yeah, there it is.
November 30th. They say that you must do dollar cost averaging when it comes to investing in BTC, as it is a superior store of value compared to other cryptocurrencies. Had you dollar cost averaged $5 a day into Epic instead of BTC over the past 33 months, you'd have 427% more purchasing power. This is what your coin would be worth today if you had spent $5 every day since Black Thursday in order to buy Epic and BTC. You'd have $4,071 of BTC and $17,389. And oh my goodness, I just can only imagine what that freaking number would look like if we never retraced. And I know all cryptocurrencies.
Well, let's look at why that happens. I mean, is this just a penny stock? Oh, here today, gone tomorrow? No, this is based on fundamentals and solid science. So the reason that we are outperforming BTC is very simple. We use the same monetary science of stock to flow and 21 million and disinflationary halvings. The beauty of open source is that we can study everything that came before and take what you like and leave the rest. So right now, today, the Epic network produces 5,760 coins a day, and the BTC network produces 840 coins a day. So our network is producing coins at a faster rate. Next summer, our supply, our new emission gets cut in half from 5,760 coins a day to 2,880. So we're going to have a halving next summer, a year before BTC goes down from 840 to 420. Okay, so let's play this out. Today it's 5,760. It goes to 2,880. In August 2025, it goes to 1,440, and then finally in September or in June of 2028 is the singularity. There will be 210 coins per day produced both on the BTC network and the Epic network, and that represents a 75% decline in the case of BTC. So going from 840 coins a day to 210 coins a day. But in our case, 5,760 coins a day gets reduced to 210 coins a day over the next 6 years. And that's immutable. That's guaranteed as per the protocol. That is never changing. That's ironclad, committed. We shipped it in the white paper, we promised, and we're sticking to it. So if you understand the principles of why these things behave the way they do, the question becomes not why should I own Epic? It becomes why should I own anything else? And that's really what we're seeing is the power of the fundamental design.
So I noticed here in your playlist, you have women in crypto. Max, can you just share a little bit with Ashton about your DNA of Bitcoin podcast, who you've had on? And it sounds to me like Ashton might be able to help network you into some other women, because we'd like a few more women
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
interviewed.
that would be great. So dnaofbitcoin.info is the website. You can pull that up if you want to. There's some great teasers and trailers there. That's the old cover. Maybe go to dnaofbitcoin.info. So we've had Mark Cuban, Saifedean Ammous, Robert Breedlove, Kurt Wuckert Jr., Marique Flamont, and about half a dozen others. I think we've recorded 9 episodes so far, something like that. We're going to release the first 3 by the end of the year, and then we're going to release 1 a week in the new year. And so the reason I wanted to write the book DNA of Bitcoin and to do the podcast to have conversations with people is because what I found is that a lot of people, even if they've got the laser eyes and they're, orange coin good, hodled till I'm dead, they don't really understand what is Bitcoin. What is this thing that you love so much? So we're developing actually a DNA of Bitcoin IQ test as well to see, do you really understand what you think you do? Because Bitcoin was created as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system that enables value to be transferred between parties without trust and without reliance on any centralized intermediaries in the chain. And that's not what we have in BTC, but it is what we have in Epic. So it's a little bit devious in that, when talking about the DNA of Bitcoin, we're really talking about Epic, but that's what it is. Because if you want Bitcoin, then you need to find your way to Epic, because BTC does not do what the original Satoshi design did. It just can't, and it won't, it never will, and our network does.
Here it is. I'm sorry it took me forever to get to it. I think we lost Ashton's video. Can you still hear us, Ashton? We may have lost. There we go. Okay, hey, Ashton.
Hey.
All right, so this is the DNA of Bitcoin.info. So yeah, and I think I shared with you, Ashton, and maybe Max, you can share with us what was the final question that you said to Mark Cuban that preceded him inviting you to Dallas in January.
Oh, I asked him if he had ever heard of Mimblewimble, and he hadn't. And I'm like, okay, you love CD-ROMs and think they're going to be a great business in the future. Would you like me to tell you about DVD and Blu-ray is on the horizon?
Wow. And the other thing I'd like you to do is share with Ashton, Max, your Bitcoin IQ test and the thought behind that.
Yeah, so what we did is went through the Bitcoin white paper and created a question per section of the white paper. I believe there's 11 sections. It's an 8-page document, something like that. And so we just put together a quiz that says what is Bitcoin? Actually, let me see if I can even pull it up. That would be very interesting.
The quiz?
Yeah, so here's the first question. According to Satoshi,
are you sharing your screen?
No, I'll just say it. According to Satoshi, Bitcoin is a store of value whose purpose is to maintain purchasing power over time due to the disinflationary nature of the fixed 21 million coins emission schedule. B, a medium of exchange whose purpose is to facilitate e-commerce payments without relying on trusted third parties. C, a solution to the problem of double spending using a peer-to-peer network based on an unlinked chain of digital signatures. Or D, Michael Saylor is a genius. Shut up and take my money. Just hodl, bro.
That's funny. And the idea is to be able to have people take this and it would generate their score, it should be their Bitcoin IQ. And then that is going to become cumulative. So over time, with every time somebody takes the test, it's either going to raise the overall IQ or lower it. And the hypothesis is, or our thoughts are, and this came out of Max's interviews with all of these brilliant minds in crypto, of how many didn't have necessarily the right answers, to what is the standard, right? And so I think what this could end up being is like very eye-opening for, the bros that have been here from the beginning, who, if it's not Bitcoin, it's shitcoin. Well, tell us how much you know about Bitcoin. Take this quiz. So that's the idea. I think that'll be kind of pretty cool. Okay, look, it is 12:50. Again, I want to encourage everyone, please. Let's rally as a community, as we have done before, and it is literally as simple as being able to go into your Vite multi-chain app, open up your Epic 002, hit, spam. I love spam. And going into your Epic 002 and then hitting send, and send, whatever amount, you feel would be a worthy investment, keeping in mind that the way I'm hearing you type, Max.
Oh, sorry.
the way that the only place that we aren't winning is market awareness. So here's an opportunity to be able to get high quality market awareness, and it becomes a place to be able to point people to, like a link. And let's say that you're new to Epic Cash and you are really excited about evangelizing it, and you want to get your boss involved. Well, instead of you having to try to figure it all out, how about just point them to Ashton's interview with Max? Because I know the interview, I've watched several of your interviews, and it's just amazingly professional. You're not one of these gotcha guys that's trying to trip anyone up. You just are very authentic in trying to be able to help the founder or leader of a project be able to have the platform to talk about, why they're different and why they're important, and how they might be changing the world one person at a time. So it gives me the opportunity to send a link to somebody with that is a consumable video that's well done, and who knows how many more Sky Kings we might be able to get. But it doesn't happen without the community support. So this interview today, thank you, Ashton, for coming on. I know you don't do that. You'd shared with us that this traditionally is kind of not part of what you do. It's pretty much the other way around, because you're in very high demand. But I asked, just because this is how our community works, and for us to be able to raise money, I didn't want to just go on air and talk about all of your accolades. And so thank you for investing the time to come on. Max, do you have anything?
Yeah, I just wanted, let me excuse myself for the typing, the clicking in your ear. The reason I was typing is I was checking the statistics. I just sent a chat or a screenshot through on the chat, Ashton. Looks like he's received 8 transactions for 2,100 Epic so far. So this is a demonstration of the power of the model. If you're out there and you're listening and you want to get behind this, send 1 coin, 100 coins, 10 coins, whatever you can. We've got a working model. And also, Ashton, I would encourage you to look at this as a really unique type of opportunity that hasn't come your way before, because there hasn't been anything like this. When you raise money through these other platforms, they want to control what you do, what you say. You're basically you're on their plantation. Here, you're completely sovereign. There's no middleman.
Mhm.
The money goes directly to you. You are in control, so you don't have to worry about censorship or demonetization or looking over your shoulder what you can and can't say. You're building your house on a
Mhm.
solid foundation rather than someone else's land that they can zap you at any time.
And I'd also encourage you, Ashton, to get the Stack wallet, because I know many people don't have their Epic on
Yeah.
Vite. So, but they'd be happy to support by sending it to your Stack wallet address. I know that there's my best friend in life, Mr. P, we call him. He has told me that he's going to match what I provided. So I think that would put us, closer to 3,500. And so we're getting there, everybody. But he needs to send it from his Stack wallet to you. He doesn't want to go through the reverse engineering because, well, those who know, it's just kind of like, it can kind of be a little bit of a pain. So, but Stack wallet to Stack wallet, bingo. So if you can get that to me, we'll put that also in the chats. And I'll include that in my show notes. I'll kind of leave it to you, Ashton. What thoughts do you have right now?
Yeah, I think it's everything you said is great. I'll definitely get you guys a Stack wallet as well. It looks like some other viewers have just sent a little bit more in since you just mentioned it 2 minutes ago. So the viewers are active, it looks like, which is great to see. I'm personally really excited to dive in deep with Max and ask those questions on a lot of people, they just don't have the time to go through hours worth of content on to figure out why Epic Cash is a great private currency. And they think they know Bitcoin, but as you have shown with the quiz, a lot of people probably can't. Most people can't get 100% on the Bitcoin quiz. So I like to do my best to, in 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, get those questions in for investors or just speculators or just people that want to learn of let's get the answers quickly and easily on, why Epic Cash is a great currency and what are the properties of a great private currency. So I'm really excited to get the video done and get it out to those channels. So thank you so much for having me on. I do appreciate it.
You bet, Max. You're going to need that 2-minute timer, buddy.
No, there's not enough time to go through my stuff. So actually, no. You know what? I'll just show real quick here.
No, I was joking about the interview. 20 to 30 Max,
yeah. I'm working on my brevity skills.
Okay, I stopped screen sharing. So if you have something, Max, you wanted to share.
Yeah, just want to do a quick shout out to people. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the ecosystem. Spencer put this together. More on this later. This is the contributors roster. We're up to 282. We're working down, making sure nobody's overlooked. So we've got a lot of people doing lots of stuff, bringing order to the chaos. This is a project progress tracking that Ryan Comiskey and Sky King are putting together, tracking all of our different websites and stuff. This is a news feed of what all is going on. And the thing that one of the things that I'm most excited about is the Epic Everywhere campaign. We've got a detailed plan to take Epic literally everywhere. So by language, Afrikaans, we know it's spoken in South Africa and Namibia, Albanian is spoken here. And this is drilling into the details of Armenia and Australia and Belgium and so on. So we're really gearing up to be ready for mass adoption.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and that's the other thing is show that first page that Spencer created. Once you start taking a little deeper dive, Ashton, you're going to find that Epic Cash is just a small part of the overall vision. And these are all of the assets that are under development right now at various stages. Now, it's interesting. There's there's several key blockers that if we could unblock X, there could be 5 other things that would be developed, but we're a community and that takes money, or it takes a, you know, an investor or an investment vehicle, which we're working on all of the above. But it's really exciting. I don't know, you would know, you've forgotten more about this whole industry than I'll ever know, but I don't know how many projects there are out there that that have the type of vision that Max does and the big enough cojones to be able to believe that their asset will one day become the world reserve currency. That's that's a BHAG. So those who don't know what BHAG is, Google it. But hey, really, thank you for taking part of your Friday out, and can't wait for the update. Everyone, please, I'm going to show it one more time. Please, please, please.
I just sent you the stack as well, Uncle, in the in our chat there. So we do have that set up for the viewers.
Okay. Hold on. Which group is that?
In our group chat there.
Room 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Copy. Let's see. Copy. Selected text. All right, everyone. This is Ashton's stack wallet address, and I will put the address in a different. Why didn't it? Wow, it did take. I'm sorry. Okay, that is in there as well. So anybody who has your Epic on Stack, there's the address. And like I said, I will also include both addresses in the show notes once this live stream renders, which usually takes half a day. I don't know why, but so yeah, easy enough, guys. And it looks like we are well on the road to success with this raise.
I would check on the Block Explorer to see how many have been raised through Stack, but oops, it's private. You can't.
Yeah. Very good.
You're in Mexico, Ashton. A lot of people don't realize, like, can you imagine if somebody is watching your Tether wallet or your BTC wallet or something in Mexico? Hey, I just got $100 million. Next day you're in a black plastic bag in a pickup truck out in a field. This is life or death. You know, people don't understand this yet, but they will, and when they will, we'll be there. And so with your help, how can we lose? Thanks so much for being here today, Ashton. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it as well, and I'm looking forward to the next video. Let's get on to it.
All right, good enough. Okay, again, gonna leave by just saying special shout out to you, Dark Star. You're awesome. Thank you for your persistence. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday evening. Cheers.